Elon Musk is finally calling out Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for his administration's endemic corruption. What has the Prime Minister done this time, and how does this influence Musk's relationship with Trudeau? This is not surprising given that Musk has Canadian origins and will call out his own if necessary, even if it is the government. Welcome back to another exciting video from PromTech. Today's video is about just happened. Elon Musk exposed Justin Trudeau's corruption. Before we start the video, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. They are here, issues of contention. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Trudeau administration enacted stringent vaccination regulations. Still, the Canadian public had had enough and demanded a new law requiring COVID-19 immunization to cross the US-Canada border. Truckers descended upon Ottawa's capital within days to demonstrate against the numerous COVID-19 restrictions and some of the Trudeau administration's policies. I posted a satirical Adolf Hitler meme with the message "Stop comparing me to Justin Trudeau. My budget was less than his." The billionaire was unmistakably hinting at the Prime Minister of Canada's lousy behavior and flaws. But Elon Musk suddenly found himself at the center of a dispute. The software magnate thinks people should be free to decide whether they want to get immunized. He had fought with government representatives to keep his plans in motion throughout the epidemic, although the vaccine effectively stopped the spread of COVID-19 in the United States. This was because he believed that what goes into a person's body is personal. Businesses shouldn't be forced to suffer as a result. In typical Musk form, he disregarded the concerns and before deleting the tweet, suggested that the critics read up on the background of Nazi Germany. Later, he published another declaring that fascism is present in Canada if it suppresses lawful demonstrations. However, the damage had already been done, and Musk's response to the situation increased awareness of Trudeau's misconduct in Canada. Many individuals, both domestically and internationally, wanted to be more pleased with Trudeau's conduct, which reduced their trust in his ability to govern. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association opposed the ruling, calling it a threat to civil liberties. Other critics criticized the decision as an abuse of government authority. The Bill Wallace administration was still being closely watched. Trudeau decided to draft legislation that might limit Canadians' online activity. Do you know what Bill C-11 is? It is the government's response to BC 10, which regulated how information is presented to Canadians, is now in effect. It will control nearly all audio and video content available online in Canada, including Netflix, Disney, Spotify, and YouTube. The Trudeau administration presented the measure as a way to increase internet visibility for Canadian artists and content producers, and to make Canadian content more accessible simply. But folks are learning that it's not at all. The Trudeau censorship bill, which regulates what Canadians view online, is intended to breach their privacy and limit their ability to scrutinize and hold their government accountable. It may prevent Canadian digital producers from accessing wider audiences or addressing delicate political matters, not boosting Canadian content. What is Trudeau saying, though? He vigorously advocates for the bill's passage, saying it is essential for preserving Canada's cultural industry. He said it would help Canada's upcoming generation of artists and creators. Several Canadian government platforms, such as Canadian Heritage on Twitter, attempt to argue in favor of the bill's passage. But once more, every attempt to defend the law has been, at best, deceptive and caricatured. They hoped the measure would pass without anyone reading it carefully and pointing out how it would affect digital-first creators, podcast artists, and other streamers, who primarily monetize their content online. The number of Canadian innovators opposing the law has surpassed 40,000, increasing daily. Messages pleading with senators to oppose the bill because it jeopardizes their employment are pouring in. The government rushed through the legislation without allowing anyone to object, and it continues ignoring Canadian artists. Not just Canadian artists are vehemently opposed. Large corporations like Google and YouTube are impacted by Bill C-11. The two have lent their voices to the cause, warning that it will force Canadians to watch only government-approved content, compromising press freedom. Neil Lehane, the chief product officer of YouTube, took some time to discuss the ramifications of the legislation. Putting into practice, this implies that viewers who visit the YouTube site are presented with stuff that the Canadian government regulator has prioritized instead of content that appeals to them. The effect will have on the Canadian government's transparency, and accountability is another issue that worries many people. If it is adopted at this time, the government can utilize it to influence governance and quickly discredit critics without exerting too much effort. The measure will give Trudeau the authority to ban contentious viewpoints that offend him and deprive the public of the knowledge they need to make informed political decisions. Even worse, many individuals think that outside forces like Klaus Schwab and the NRA may have influenced the measure. An Ontario MP criticized Trudeau's attendance at the DO's conference during a campaign in May, stating, "Work for Canada. You can't be a member of our government and fight for a policy objective that goes against the interests of our citizens. Therefore, if you want to visit DOs, buy a one-way ticket." Trudeau has made numerous acts in the past that were consistent with the WEF's program, and Claus acknowledged the Canadians' influence. Bill Moore, a former Canadian finance minister, previously expressed alarm about the path the Trudeau administration was taking, saying it seemed more focused on spreading the wealth. A different WEF agenda is preferred over societal progress. Elon's response. But what is Elon Musk's opinion on the matter? Musk responded quickly to a tweet from the conservative organization Canada Proud asking him to oppose Trudeau's online streaming laws. What it is that the billionaire is an advocate for free speech, and one of the reasons he gave Twitter $44 billion was because he worried about needless censorship. They were speaking freely on the stage. According to him, everyone has a right to information and should be allowed to express themselves freely within the parameters of free speech. The billionaire quickly supported the Canadian people, labeling the law an effort to silence their voices in opposition, even though thousands soon endorsed it. Despite public protest and opposition, Trudeau's government appears to be moving forward. Given that their economy is worse than it was 7 years ago, many Canadians are concerned about his corruption and leadership. Trudeau hasn't commented on Elon's statement. The COVID-19 pandemic's poor management still leaves people in shock. Additionally, the government needs to pay more attention to the fundamentals of sustainable development and put a burden on future generations of Canadians and larger governments. The government is determined to enact policies that harm farmers, harm local food production, and exacerbate the present food crisis in Canada. As a result, the agricultural sector is also feeling the heat. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.